The country of Iran is fully prepared and ready for any potential war. You specifically asked if a preemptive operation is currently on our agenda. It is not.
We are not seeking out any war.
But we have complete readiness for war.
We are even more prepared than we were before the previous war, and the reason for this is quite clear. The best way to prevent war is to be fully prepared for it and to ensure that our enemies do not once again fall into the trap of miscalculation. So, at the same time, as I have stated on numerous occasions, we are also prepared for negotiations, but these must be fair, honorable, and from a position of equality,
with mutual respect and based on the principle of shared interests.
A negotiation that is a truly serious and genuine one, and not merely about giving orders or dictating terms, which regrettably has become the characteristic approach and common practice of certain nations. So, I'd like to thank all of you. Once again, I'm truly grateful you accepted our invitation and joined us today. I bid you all farewell. May God protect you.
中方希望伊朗政府和人民能够克服当前的困难，保持国家的稳定。我们一贯反对干涉别国内政，一贯主张各国的主权和安全都应当受到国际法的充分保护，反对在国际关系中使用武力或威胁使用武力。我们呼吁各方多做有利于中东和平稳定的事情。
The crisis in Iran is now drawing in global powers and sharpening the risk of confrontation. China has stepped in, warning against what it calls foreign interference after U.S. President Donald Trump threatened military action if Iran continues its violent crackdown on protesters. Inside Iran, the government insists it is firmly in control. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi told diplomats in Tehran that the nationwide unrest has been brought under total control, claiming the protests were deliberately turned violent to give the United States a pretext to intervene.
The Islamic Republic of Iran is not seeking war, but it is fully and completely prepared for it. We are also ready for negotiations, but fair, honorable and dignified negotiation on equal footing. The respect is reciprocated.
But activists paint a far darker picture. Rights groups say at least 544 people have been killed in just over 2 weeks of demonstrations, most of them protesters, with more than 10,600 detained.
This government shooting people! This government shooting people!
Iran's government has released no official toll, and an internet blackout has made independent verification nearly impossible. Despite the information blackout, fear grips the streets. In Tehran, residents say the city empties at sunset as security forces tighten their grip. Police and intelligence agencies have sent warning messages to families, urging parents to keep children indoors and threatening decisive action against anyone joining the protests. Yet the demonstrations continue. Crowds have defied the crackdown, flooding streets in Tehran and other major cities, while state television shows pro-government rallies chanting "Death to America" and "Death to Israel," a show of force by the ruling theocracy.
And allow me to also address the developments in the not-so-far neighborhood in Iran. We're seeing for 2 weeks how people from all sectors of society are taking to the streets. They're protesting peacefully for freedom and a better life in their country. Not only is it their right to do that, I pay tribute to the courage with which they confront the disproportionate amount of violence, and I call upon the Iranian government and leadership to protect their citizens instead of threatening them. The violence directed at the Iranian people is something we condemn in the strongest of terms. This violence is not a testament an expression of strength, but a weakness, and this violence needs to stop. Allow me to say this in conclusion, because the news coming out of Iran are accompanying us while we're here on a visit to India.
In Washington, the pressure is building. President Trump says Iran has reached out to negotiate, but he warns time may be running out. Speaking aboard Air Force One, Trump said the military is reviewing very strong options, including cyber attacks and direct strikes. He warned that if Iran targets U.S. forces, the response would be devastating.
This article, it looks like, and there seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination.
Which options have you been briefed on? Are you meeting with senior officials?
Am I going to really, are you asking me to say what will they do, where will we attack, when, and at what angle will we attack from? Who are you with?
I'm with the U.S. White House TV pool. I'm wondering, are you being briefed on options? I'm with CNN, sir.
Why did you just say I'm with CNN? She says, I'm with the White House pool. Yes. And I say, what? You're with CNN. You're with fake news. Because CNN is fake news. Go ahead, give me a question.
Can I ask how you're balancing and how you're deciding your response, the balance between helping protesters versus hindering them? Because I imagine that's a delicate balance to strike.
I mean, some of the protesters were killed through the stampeding. I mean, there's so many of them. And some were shot. We're getting a full report. I'm getting an hourly report. And we're going to make a determination.
Just quickly, Iran said that they would consider military and commercial bases as legitimate targets if you struck. Are you concerned about...
If they do that, we'll consider things targets that they wouldn't believe. If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. They won't even believe it. I have options that are so strong. So, I mean, if they did that, it'll be met with a very, very powerful force.
I think Iran takes your threats seriously.
I think so. Don't you think so, CNN? Don't you think so? Wouldn't you say that they probably do at this point? After going through it for years with me, being hit, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, the Iran nuclear threat wiped out, don't you think, and then you just had Venezuela, don't you think, she says, CNN, do you think they take your threat seriously? Wouldn't you say they do after all of the things we've done? What a stupid question.
Right. And back on Iran, the Ayatollah said that he thinks that the protesters are trying to, quote, please you. Do you see it that way? What's your message to the Iranian people?
I don't know that they're trying to please me. They named a boulevard after me, but that's pretty pleasing. But I don't think they're trying to please. I think they just want peace. They want to have freedom. The protesters are after freedom. Iran has not allowed freedom for a long time. And the protesters, I don't think they're trying to appease me. They're trying to get somebody to help them. They're under siege. And now it looks like they're being shot, which is a very bad thing.
Is the administration in contact with Iranian opposition leaders as this is unfolding?
Yeah.
What's the message to them?
Yeah. You're going to find out pretty soon.
You said something willingness from Iran to engage diplomatically with you or perhaps negotiate on their nuclear program.
With Iran?
Yeah, do you think they want to engage diplomatically with you?
They do. They called
you? Is it still
yesterday.
An option? Is it still an option?
Iran called to negotiate.
Yesterday.
The leaders of Iran called. They want to negotiate. I think they're tired of being beat up by the United States.
Are you sharing any details on that call?
Iran wants to negotiate, yes.
Negotiate what?
We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up. But we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting.
Right.
But a meeting is being set up. Iran called. They want to negotiate.
What began as protests over economic collapse has now evolved into a direct challenge to Iran's theocracy and a flashpoint that could redraw the region's future. As China urges restraint, Iran tightens its grip, and the United States weighs force, the world is watching, bracing for what comes next.